story. The Lord does not delight in the pleasure of the wicked, and even though they lay traps for me, I'll flee from them. The righteous will always prevail over evil. These are the words of the Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Adame in response to recent developments in the ambulance purchase trial. Earlier in court, lawyers of Richard Jakpa moved an objection to the AG's affidavit in opposition to the third accused motion for mistrial. Lord Eduasare reports.
Prior to the commencement of the trial, speaking to journalists for the first time, Richard Jakpa expressed optimism that he will be freed based on evidence before the court.
According to his opinion, straight, the way he thinks is supposed to be. I have done mine in court, so I'm expecting to come in as in. Do you have this in court, not in public opinion? Because I'm an innocent man.
When the case was called, Justice Ifya Sewa Asare-Butche indicated to the parties in court that she had received 4 applications from lawyers of the accused persons. An application for stay of proceedings pending appeal, as well as an application for inquiry into the alleged conduct of the Attorney General and a mistrial by Dr. Atto-Forson's lawyers, an application for an order striking out charges against third accused Richard Jakpa, and an affidavit in support of the application by Jakpa by the former Deputy Finance Minister. Lead counsel for Richard Jakpa, Thaddeus Sori, filed a motion to oppose an earlier affidavit in opposition by a principal state attorney to the application to strike out charges against the third accused. He argued that the affidavit failed to disclose the source of the information in respect of the matters regarding Jakpa's conversation with the AG. But Godfred Adame opposed. He insisted that the objections are unfounded and are without merit, adding that the manner in which the objection was raised defeats all requirements of fairness. The presiding judge indicated that she will give her ruling on the 4 applications before her on Thursday, June 6, and adjourn the trial. Speaking after the hearing, Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Adame noted that good would always prevail.
And of course, replied, as we know, all I can say is that the Lord does not delight in the pleasure of the wicked, and that even though they lay traps for me, I will flee from them. And righteousness will always prevail over evil.
But NDC Communications Officer Sami Jemfi had this to say.
Serious averments have been made in court, not in the media, against him. He's been quick to deny them in the media. His spokesperson, Wilberforce. You understand? And the Deputy Attorney General have issued statements and granted interviews defending him. Now we come to court, you expect this Attorney General to swear an affidavit, to dispute these things, to provide counter evidence. And the man is fleeing from accountability. He can't defend himself. He wants somebody to do that for him. Well, we wait to see what the court's decision will be on all these matters.
Lord Eduasare, TV3 News, Accra.
Chronic kidney failure patients in Ghana are yet to have access to free dialysis treatment at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, though an amount of 2 million Ghana cedis has been finally approved by Parliament under the NHIA's 2024 allocation formula. This initiative aims to support financially challenged and vulnerable patients requiring dialysis treatments. My colleague Godwin Asedeba looks into the lives of some of these patients and their struggles.
The sound of the dialysis machines beeps, working to save lives like that of 50-year-old Victoria Donko, who has been on dialysis for 16 years.
If you have a house full of money, by now it would have finished. Life. Well, it's not been that easy. There are times you are not so well. There are times you are strong. There are also times you are so hard up with money, it's difficult to come.
Distraught kidney patients are flooding into the renal unit at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital following the announcement that the National Health Insurance Authority will cover the cost of dialysis for all patients to varying extents this month. The vulnerable group will receive up to 8 free sessions per month. For Victoria, it is a good initiative, but the age gap covered is not favorable.
People were expecting to have free dialysis, but this is a receipt. So some have come and they have left because they didn't have money and they assumed that they were going to get it. So if the government will be good enough to give us this opportunity, then I think that they should pay it ahead of time so that we'll have our undisturbed dialysis. We are so grateful. They've done so well, and I think that is a good decision in the right direction.
It has been a roller coaster for patients regarding their dialysis cost over the past months, with prices continually increasing. The renal unit at the hospital is poised to serve as the new implementation takes effect. The Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Da Costa Boaje, visited the renal unit to ensure the promise is implemented. He disclosed that arriving at this decision after numerous meetings has been a tough process.
The government do have a clear sustainability plan which will be unveiled, and it even includes obviously seeing how we can support some facilities with dialysis machines, how we can move on to the other forms of dialysis as Professor was talking about. It's a comprehensive one. So this will even serve as a learning for us in improving what we are going to put in place as a government.
The president of the Renal Patient Association of Ghana, Bafo Kojo Ahenkra, believes that more can be done for kidney patients.
18 below is free. 60 and above is free. There the numbers are not that much. Now, let's say 20 to 59, that is where the numbers are. And we are the people who are a bit stronger, who can go back to work and pay our taxes, feed our family, take care of that. But we are rather getting 2 sessions. It's not bad because we are doing 8. Out of the 8, they are giving us 2. We appreciate it, but like I said, it could have been better.
The head of the kidney disease unit, Dr. Professor Vincent Boima, issued a word of caution.
Most would come already end stage with kidney functions very low, already requiring dialysis, and that's what we'll be seeing. So we are telling the public that, look, don't wait for symptoms to develop, because if you wait for symptoms of dizziness, weakness, tiredness, breathlessness, etc. to develop before you come, when you come, they're going to put you on dialysis and you're waiting for transplant. If you don't get it, you remain on dialysis in the long term.
It has not been an easy journey for kidney patients, especially those who have been battling with the disease for decades. Most of them have been trooping in here at the renal unit in the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, explaining that it has been a burden that has been lifted off their shoulders. They are hoping that this promise will go beyond December so that most of the patients will be able to come in to have their dialysis done.
The program will cover the expenses of 8 monthly dialysis sessions for individuals under 18 and over 60 years, identified as the vulnerable group for an initial 6-month period. For patients aged 18 to 59 years, the program will subsidize 2 dialysis sessions per month at 982 Ghana cedis, amounting to 491 Ghana cedis per session across government dialysis facilities, excluding the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Godwin Asidiba, TV3 News, Accra.
Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Nsia Sari, says government is working assiduously on a legal framework to ensure a law on organ and tissue donation is passed by the present parliament. According to him, government acknowledges that dialysis is just a stopgap in the management of kidney disease, and there's a need to work on a legal framework in a matter of urgency to ensure patients benefit fully from kidney and other transplants in the country.
Dialysis is just a stopgap. It's not the only management, it's not the end management of chronic kidney patients. The end management of chronic kidney patients is that you do the dialysis to prepare the patients for transplant. As we speak now, there's no law in this country governing tissue, organ donation, and transplantation. So we have a policy which we have been prepared, given to the Ministry of Health. They are going through all the legal processes through Attorney General, and then they will present it to Cabinet, to Parliament. It's my prayer, and I've been going around dealing with a select committee and then the leadership of our party in Parliament. If this law can be passed even before this Parliament rises, I hope it will happen. Once it happens, then we have also a law which is backing any transplantation in this country. As we speak, even those who are doing fertility and all this. There should all be, this law will encompass everything. So we are doing everything to push it so that it can be done for this parliament.
Government's indebtedness to the National Health Insurance Scheme has come under intense scrutiny from Parliament's Health Committee, who are unanimous in demanding payments to the scheme or risk its collapse. It has emerged that government owes 2.4 billion cedis from July 2023 to February this year. The Finance Ministry is under pressure to make releases to the scheme as directed by the Health Committee at a meeting.
The delays in the release to the National Health Insurance Authority has become an issue of high public interest. And so we had the opportunity to raise it in the public and subsequently impress on the committee to call for a stakeholders engagement to think through how the arrears to the National Health Insurance Authority could be settled. And so today, we met as members of Parliament on the Health Committee. The Ministry of Finance was represented. The National Health Insurance Authority was represented. The Ministry of Health was also represented. And so, as the chairman indicated, some ground rules has been established. And it is our prayer and hope that we are all going to respect what we have agreed on to be able to reduce the arrears owed the National Health Insurance Authority so that National Health Insurance Authority can also operate smoothly to the benefit of the whole country.
As of now, government owes about from July 2023 to February, that's about 2.4 billion. And then they have also made releases of almost about 700 million. So we are clear in our mind that if these releases and the strategy they've put forward progresses, it's most likely they will clear off this arrears.
Flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, says he will partner the clergy to secure support from the private sector to complete the National Cathedral project. Dr. Baumia was speaking during a meeting with the clergy as part of his campaign tour of the Greater Accra region.
This is the first time the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, is speaking on the National Cathedral project, which has been abandoned for some years now, being brought under the radar by the Northong MP Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, whilst underscoring the relevance of the project, expressed worry the delay in its completion. He pledged his commitment to partner the clergy to secure support from the private sector to complete it.
For the National Cathedral, the church should come together and let us know the best way forward, how we can even get private resources to help us to complete the cathedral. But I think it is possible. We should not say it is not possible. Let us all sit back together and figure out the way forward on how to complete this cathedral.
The NPP flag bearer renewed his commitment against the LGBTQ.
We will never accept it. We will never accept it. Our religion says no. Our culture says no. Our values say no. So it's no, no, and no. We will never accept it. No matter the consequences, we will defend our values. We will defend our culture. And we'll defend our religion.
In another development, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia pledged to roll out a tax system to reduce the burden on business-oriented Ghanaians. He emphasized on agriculture as a major policy to transform Ghana's economy. Speaking for the clergy, Prophet Amuakon founded a Parliament chapel, called for support for the Vice President and the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
Your Excellency, do everything within your power and together with the team, bring the church to the government. And if possible, fund, as you said, I believe in the private sector. Give it to a private man, let them build it, let them correct the who can say what Yesiga. You call Israel, you say, baby, you Yesiga. They can, to me, Atikano. Am I talking to the real people? Now, it's going to be an indictment for the Christianity and for this government to leave this bigger hole as it is forever.
Later, the MPP flag bearer and the Vice President, Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, met with the Muslim clergy. He re-echoed his policy of rolling out a tax amnesty and dealing with corruption under his presidency.
Meanwhile, MP for North Tong, Samuel Okututu-Ablakwa, a strong critic of the National Cathedral project, says the Vice President should rather be concerned about retrieving funds paid to persons who have just dug a hole in the name of building a cathedral.
I thought that the Vice President would be telling us how they will retrieve our monies, this $58.1 million. Ghanaians have been apprised about how huge sums of money was diverted to all kinds of characters. As we speak, a gentleman called Carrie Summers is keeping our $6 million. The Vice President must be concerned. Many architects in our country who are Christians, who are God-fearing, if they had been put together, would have loved to design it for free for the glory of God. How on earth did David Ajay take so much money? Look, in one of the documents that I intercepted, just for redesigning one restaurant, just one, David Ajay was paid $5.7 million. So the Vice President should be talking about retrievals. That is what we want to hear.
The tower of the Commonwealth Hall at the University of Ghana, Legon, was gutted last night by fire. Personnel from the Ghana Fire Service were, however, at the scene on time to douse the flame. Aspiring parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso West Wuogon, John Dumelo, was on site and had this to say. The Ayawaso West Wuogon MP Lydia Al-Hassan also wrote on Facebook, quote, "The timely intervention by the National Fire Service is commendable here at the Commonwealth Hall Amphitheatre, where the place has been gutted by fire. The swift intervention by the hall tutor and management is worth mentioning." That'll be it for the morning news this morning. My name is Na Ashoko. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue with New Day.